Number 1. An island nation living amidst storms. The Philippines is an island nation in Southeast Asia, comprising 7,641 islands spread across a vast area of the Pacific Ocean. Of these, only about 2,000 islands are inhabited, the rest remaining almost untouched. Geographically, many small islands have never had permanent infrastructure, lacking electricity and roads, and are only accessible by small boats, which has helped preserve the coastal ecosystem in a rare natural state in Asia. Thanks to its fifth longest coastline in the world, the Philippines is often ranked among the countries with the most diverse marine ecosystems on the planet, from coral reefs and mangrove forests to deep-sea areas that remain largely unexploited. Its proximity to the equator provides abundant sunshine year-round, but also places the country directly within the Pacific typhoon belt. The rainy season typically lasts from June to November, coinciding with the peak of tropical storms. On average, about 20 typhoons form or pass through the Philippines each year, many of which reach typhoon intensity with wind speeds exceeding 150 kilometers per hour, significantly impacting lives and infrastructure. This forces coastal communities to adapt with lightweight, flexible housing and a lifestyle closely connected to nature, creating a society accustomed to risk while maintaining its daily rhythm. In terms of size, the Philippines covers approximately 300,000 square kilometers and has a population of about 117 million as of 2024. About 80% of the population is Catholic, a consequence of over 300 years of Spanish influence. However, a notable feature is its very young population structure. More than 50% of the population is under 25 years old, making the Philippines one of the youngest workforces in Southeast Asia, contributing to a vibrant society and rapid urbanization. The Philippines is also distinguished by its rare cultural diversity. This nation boasts over 170 ethnic groups, each with its own distinct history and customs. Filipino and English are the official languages for education and administration, but in reality, approximately 187 local languages and dialects still exist. Some languages are spoken by only a few hundred people and are at risk of extinction, while in remote mountainous regions, communities still use whistling to communicate across valleys and dense forests, demonstrating how people adapt to their living space. It is this combination of complex geography, harsh climate, and diverse human identities that creates a multi-layered Philippines, always full of surprises for its explorers. Number 2. Beauty that doesn't conform to standards. One of the most noticeable things about the Philippines is its diversity of appearance, especially skin color. The majority of the population is of Austronesian origin, having lived in the tropics for generations, resulting in a common characteristic of brown skin. Meanwhile, the legacy of over 3 centuries of Spanish colonial rule has left a segment of the population with lighter skin tones and features that lean towards European features. This blend creates a unique beauty in Filipino women, with some possessing distinctly East Asian features, others with a mixed Eurasian appearance, and some even resembling North Americans. The Philippines is also renowned on the international beauty pageant map. However, what's noteworthy isn't just the beauty pageant titles, but also the status of women in society. According to rankings on gender equality in the Asian region, the Philippines consistently ranks among the top in terms of the percentage of women participating in management and leadership roles in businesses, particularly in medium-sized companies. In many sectors, such as services, finance, and media, women holding executive roles is not uncommon, demonstrating that their capabilities are recognized at a practical level, not just through media portrayals. In family life, traditional Filipino women have always valued intergenerational connection. They care for children, maintain shared living spaces, and play a central role in the family. In the modern generation, these values haven't disappeared but have been combined with new thinking. They participate in the workforce, build their own careers, and remain a source of emotional support for their families. Family models where women work full-time while also connecting family members have become common in major cities like Manila and Cebu. Nevertheless, traditional views on gender, particularly in marriage, still persist in the Philippines. This leads some young, educated, and financially capable women to seek relationships based on greater equality. Many women report feeling a connection with European or American men because they value respect, sharing, and the division of responsibilities in family life. English is widely used in education and work, making it easier for Filipino women to communicate and integrate with foreigners. According to international marriage statistics, marriages between Filipino women and citizens of the US, Canada, or Europe have steadily increased over the years, reflecting a trend towards cross-border connections. For most Filipino women, the criteria for choosing a partner are not material possessions or nationality, but rather trust and respect. If you'd like to learn more about how to build rapport or connect with Filipino women through dating platforms, leave a comment with an 8 so we can share more. Number 3. Life in the cemetery. Manila, the capital of the Philippines, is one of the cities that best exemplifies the stark contrast of rapid urbanization. Within the same area, shopping malls, office buildings, and upscale residential areas coexist alongside densely populated slums. In some inner-city districts, population density exceeds 40,000 people per square kilometer, a record high in Asia. According to urban data, this figure is many times higher than in major cities like Los Angeles or Berlin, highlighting the immense pressure for living space in Manila. With many households earning less than $10 a day and a persistently high birth rate, housing becomes a daunting challenge for the low-income class. Under these circumstances, many are forced to choose living spaces that defy conventional norms. In some of Manila's large cemeteries, spacious burial niches or spaces between tombstones are being repurposed as living quarters. Some families pay unofficial rent to cemetery managers to live next to or on top of graves, as this is a much cheaper option than city housing. Cemetery pathways become communal spaces where children play and adults cook and work daily. This is not just a story of poverty, but also reflects how people adapt when urban areas no longer have enough space for everyone. In the southern Philippines, Camiguin Island offers a different perspective on the relationship between humans and death. After the eruption of Mount Haibok in 1870, a coastal cemetery collapsed and sank underwater. Today, the tombstones and crosses remain beneath the surface, easily accessible to divers at shallow depths, creating a site of both historical significance and unique tourist attraction. Instead of building new cemeteries on the mainland, locals continue to bury their loved ones in this area as a way of preserving memories and accepting the changing natural landscape. These images vividly reflect a contradictory Philippines. The country possesses outstanding natural beauty and a rich cultural life, but at the same time faces population pressure, poverty, and limited living space. Manila reveals two parallel facets: a modern city standing alongside a life of struggle amidst cemeteries, creating an unforgettable reality for anyone who delves deeper into this island nation. Number 4. A city exclusively for the rich. We continue our journey by entering one of the wealthiest areas in the Philippines. Our stop is Makati, the financial and upscale center of the Manila metropolitan area, often seen as the most modern face of the nation's economy. The city impresses with its boulevards teeming with luxury cars, glass-covered skyscrapers, and a dense presence of international brands. In the cafes nestled among the business district, business meetings take place throughout the day, while women dress fashionably and men pursue sophisticated styles. The pace of life here reflects a high standard of living rarely replicated elsewhere in the Philippines. Makati has long been a hub for the wealthy and elite. The city allows observers to clearly see its prosperity through its high-rise apartment buildings, Grade A offices, and large-scale shopping malls. However, when compared to the national average income, the disparity becomes stark. The Philippine currency is the peso, and the average worker's salary is typically only between 10,000 and 50,000 pesos per month, equivalent to about $200 to $900. According to reports on urban income, the majority of the Philippine workforce remains in the service and informal sectors, making stable income difficult to achieve. Meanwhile, the residents of Makati are in a different world. Many earn over $2,000 per month, and the minimum cost of living here is often around $3,000. Rent for luxury apartments in Makati is many times higher than in Manila's suburban districts, while the cost of services, food, and entertainment is also priced according to international standards, creating a significant barrier for the average income earner. This makes Makati a living space almost exclusively for the financially powerful. Therefore, Makati represents both the economic success of the Philippines and the stark wealth gap. On one side is the world of luxury brands, high-end cafe meetings, and streets lit up all night, On the other is the harsh reality of income for the majority of the population who have little access to the lifestyle that Makati embodies. This very contrast makes the city the clearest reflection of the economic landscape of the Philippines. Number 5. A shocking ritual in the Philippines. In the mid-21st century, while dogs are considered family members in many countries, some minority communities in northern the Philippines still maintain the spiritual practice of sacrificing dogs. This custom stems from the Kanao beliefs of the Ifugao, Igorot, and Kalinga groups, where dogs are seen as sacred animals capable of bridging the gap between humans and ancestors during important community moments. On occasions such as rain-making ceremonies, healing rituals, or weddings, dog sacrifices are performed as a ritual to bring blessings and ward off perceived negative spiritual influences. According to reports from animal welfare organizations in the Philippines, approximately 20 to 30,000 dogs are still killed annually for this traditional ritual, although this number has decreased significantly compared to the 1990s, when the practice was more widespread and less supervised. For the indigenous people, the dog sacrifice ritual is not related to food or violence, but is deeply rooted in a centuries-old belief system. In the Kanao belief system, the blood of the sacrificed animal is seen as a means of conveying messages between the human world and the ancestral spirits, playing a central role in the ritual. Therefore, this custom is still maintained within the community, despite much criticism from outside. For international tourists, especially those from the United States or Japan, where the law strictly prohibits dog killing, witnessing this ritual can be culturally shocking. The difference in how animals are perceived makes the ritual a clear point of conflict between modern global norms and indigenous traditions. The Philippine government has now issued a nationwide ban on the dog meat trade to protect animal rights and fulfill international commitments. However, religious rituals of minority communities are still permitted within a limited scope and are not commercialized, as part of a cultural preservation policy. This approach demonstrates an effort to reconcile modern law with traditional heritage. Debates surrounding dog sacrifice rituals continue. Animal welfare organizations call for a complete cessation, while indigenous communities emphasize their right to preserve their ancestral beliefs. Regardless of the perspective, this ritual reflects a profound aspect of the Philippines, where ancient values coexist with modern life and continue to shape the nation's cultural identity. Number 6. A country full of stray dogs. Walking through the narrow alleys or bustling avenues of Manila, Cebu, or Davao, visitors easily notice the presence of stray dogs. According to the Philippine Department of Agriculture, the country has over 23 million dogs and nearly half of them are ownerless. This figure places the Philippines among the countries with the highest density of stray dogs in Asia, indicating that this is not just an isolated phenomenon, but a part of urban life. The reasons for this situation are quite clear. Low incomes make it difficult for many households to afford long-term dog care. Spaying and neutering services are lacking in rural areas and impoverished neighborhoods, leading to uncontrolled natural reproduction. Furthermore, the culture of allowing dogs to roam freely plays a significant role. In many neighborhoods, dogs habitually enter and leave homes, scavenge for food from household waste or roadside eateries, and then sleep on sidewalks, in front of shops, or in cemetery grounds. Several urban studies have noted that stray dogs tend to congregate around markets and eateries, where a more stable supply of surplus food helps them survive in the city for a long time. Unlike developed countries such as the US or Japan, where dogs are registered, microchipped, and strictly controlled, in the Philippines, stray dogs are almost integrated into community life. Children see them as familiar playmates. Vendors occasionally share food with them. In some residential areas, packs of dogs are considered neighborhood dogs, shared by many households, creating an informal but enduring form of care. This relationship doesn't stem from laws, but from long-standing communal habits. Despite economic difficulties, Filipinos rarely eat dog meat. This is considered morally inappropriate and is strongly influenced by Catholicism, the religion of the majority of the population. This belief has led to the near absence of dog meat in popular cuisine, thus contributing to the protection of stray dogs from the threat of hunting. For international tourists, seeing stray dogs everywhere may be surprising at first. However, this image reflects a very characteristic aspect of the Philippines, where humans and animals coexist in a shared space. Life is not rigidly separated, but intertwined, simple, and sometimes leaves one with a sense of contemplation about these small creatures living alongside the rhythm of life in a developing nation. Number 7. Food from the garbage dump. In the Philippines, pagpag refers to leftover food collected from garbage dumps or restaurants after closing time. These scraps are picked up, rinsed briefly, seasoned, and then fried again before being sold to the poor. Each bag of pagpag costs only about 20 pesos, less than a packet of instant noodles. For many residents in the slums around Manila, this is not an option, but the only meal they can afford each day. The process of making pagpag is fraught with health risks. Pickers must sort the food very quickly, keeping only intact pieces of meat and avoiding those that have decomposed. They are washed with cold water to remove dirt, then seasoned primarily to mask the smell before being fried again. The risk of bacterial and parasitic infections and food poisoning is ever present. According to local health organizations, the uncontrolled recycling of leftover food is one of the causes of common intestinal diseases in Manila's slums. Nevertheless, in the context of persistent scarcity, pagpag remains the only accessible means of survival. Pagpag is not just a food item, it is a stark manifestation of social inequality in Manila. Modern shopping malls, upscale hotels, and luxury restaurants are sometimes just a few streets away from garbage dumps. This contrast is often described by Philippine urban researchers as two parallel worlds, where abundance and starvation coexist in the same space. Beyond pagpag, the Philippines also faces the problem of double-dead meat, which is meat from animals that died before slaughter but are bleached and sold cheaply. This type of meat poses serious health risks, but in poor markets, the low price leaves many families with no other choice. Authorities have previously seized tons of double-dead meat in suburban markets around Manila. The Philippine government has repeatedly launched campaigns to ban pagpag, tightened food inspections, and implemented programs to provide cheap food. However, as poverty and unemployment persist, pagpag has not disappeared. It remains a symbol of survival in precarious conditions and a heartbreaking image reflecting the wealth gap in a rapidly developing nation. For many tourists, the sight of people lining up to buy discarded food is shocking, but it is also a very real part of the Philippines, where life is sometimes sustained by what little remains. Number 8. The world's longest Christmas. In the Philippines, Christmas isn't just limited to the last few days of the year. It extends into a rare holiday season in the world. While many countries are still experiencing the summer months, Philippine cities begin their Christmas spirit very early as the beginning of September. Christmas music fills shopping malls, cafes are brightly lit, and radio stations simultaneously play familiar songs. People call this period the Ber months, a series of months ending in the letter Bear, creating the longest Christmas season in the world. For Filipinos, Christmas is not only religious, but also an important time for family reunions. The most recognizable symbol of the holiday is the parol, a star-shaped lantern hung in front of houses, along streets, and in residential areas. The parol originates from the Star of Bethlehem and is considered a symbol of hope and light, making small alleyways and neighborhoods feel warm even when the air is still hot. The preparation of gifts and parties often begins months in advance, allowing the festive spirit to permeate daily life. The most striking highlight of the Christmas season is the Simbang Gabi, a series of 9 services held in the early morning hours before Christmas Eve. People wake up while it's still dark to go to church and pray in the quiet atmosphere of the early morning. Traditionally, many believe that attending all 9 Simbang Gabis will bring good luck for the new year, making churches always crowded during this time. After the service, people enjoy purple puto bonbon and hot ginger tea, dishes only available during the Christmas season. For tourists, experiencing Christmas in a tropical country feels very different. It's still sunny and hot, there's no snow or thick coats, but Christmas trees, lanterns, and Christmas music are everywhere. This contrast creates a fascinating cultural shock. However, what many visitors remember most is not the decorations or the weather, but the spirit of the Filipino people. The hospitality, family gatherings, and the joyful atmosphere that lasts for months make Christmas here an unforgettable experience. Number 9. Names that will amaze you. One of the most surprising aspects of Philippine culture for tourists is the way people name their children. It's perfectly normal to encounter an office worker named Pepsi, a jeepney driver named Boy, or a colleague named Baby, Honey, or Girly. Remarkably, these aren't nicknames used within families but are legal names, appearing on birth certificates, employment records, and official documents. Filipinos often choose names based on emotion and familiarity. Parents might select names based on their favorite brands, food, movie characters, or simply because the name sounds pleasant. This trend is clearly influenced by American culture throughout the 20th century, when common English words became everyday names. Additionally, combining the father's and mother's names to create a new name for a child is also quite common, such as Jamari from Jose and Maria, reflecting the creative spirit and symbolic nature of the family. Many people grow up with nicknames that are used so frequently that their birth names almost only exist on paper. The culture of informal names is also evident in politics. Ferdinand Bongbong, Marcos, and Leni Robredo both use nicknames as part of their personal image. In local election campaigns, nicknames are often preferred because they are easy to remember and create a sense of closeness with voters, especially in a society that values community relationships. These names appear on posters, slogans, and are closely associated with their public identity. For tourists, hearing seemingly playful names used in a serious setting can be initially confusing. However, after a few days of interaction, many realize that there is a very distinctive spirit behind it. Names in the Philippines are not meant to show status or formality, but rather serve as a way to break the ice in communication, helping people connect with each other more easily. This openness makes encounters feel relaxed and leaves a lasting impression of the Filipino people's zest for life. Number 10. The dark side of luxury apartments. In the Makati area, sometimes mispronounced as Marti by tourists, you can easily find modern buildings with sleek and sophisticated designs. Few people know that many of these buildings were originally constructed as housing for middle-income families. Over time, as Makati developed rapidly and the needs of the affluent increased, these buildings were gradually renovated into luxury apartments right in the heart of the city. The living spaces were upgraded with modern amenities, catering to business people, expatriates working in Manila, and the expanding middle class. However, life in these high-rises is not entirely secure. The Philippines lies in a seismically active region where geological faults are constantly in motion. Regular earthquakes of varying magnitudes cause concern for residents living on higher floors. While many new buildings employ advanced construction technologies, many older buildings still do not fully meet modern safety standards. Some buildings may look luxurious, but pose risks in the event of an earthquake. Therefore, the wealthy and financially capable often choose to live in villas or well-planned low-rise housing complexes. For them, convenience is only a part of life, while a sense of security against natural disasters is the deciding factor. Low-rise housing offers a greater sense of stability and proactive response in unexpected situations. This explains why, despite Makati's concentration of high-rise buildings, luxury villas remain scarce and very expensive. This trend reflects how Filipinos approach modern life. They are willing to enjoy urban amenities, but still prioritize their family's peace of mind. Makati thus presents two distinct facets. On one hand, the vibrant life of high-rise buildings, and on the other, the desire for peace in well-protected low-rise housing. Number 11. A street of two worlds. In the Philippines, owning a new car remains a luxury for most people. Car prices here are often much higher than in other countries, and in many cases can be up to 50% more expensive. This isn't due to the factory price, but rather to the high tax and fee system. Excise tax ranges from 40 to 50% depending on the vehicle, plus a 12% VAT. Imported vehicles also incur import duties, significantly increasing the total cost. These policies aim to limit the number of private cars in the context of frequently congested urban traffic, but they also keep cars out of reach for the middle class. For example, a car priced at around $220,000 before tax can easily cost over $330,000 after all taxes and fees are added. This figure is completely out of sync with the average income of Filipinos, which is only around $300 to $500 per month. With such a low income, buying a new car is almost impossible for most people, except for high-income earners or wealthy business people. This disparity creates a very distinctive scene on the streets. Modern luxury cars and supercars stand side by side with old jeepneys, the public transportation system that is integral to daily life. The stark contrast between rich and poor is therefore very clear and often surprising to first-time visitors to the Philippines. Because new cars are difficult to access, the used car market is booming. Many people choose to buy used cars or prefer domestically assembled vehicles to reduce costs. However, even with used cars, fuel costs, maintenance, and related fees remain a significant burden. Therefore, while car ownership is common, not all Filipinos can afford it. Number 12. Incredible wonders. In Oslob, visitors have the opportunity to swim with whale sharks, one of the world's largest fish. Despite their enormous size, whale sharks feed only on plankton and are completely harmless to humans. Whale shark diving in Oslob has become one of the most popular marine experiences in the Philippines. The moment these giant creatures glide gently beneath the blue water creates a breathtaking and rare sensation, leaving many first-time visitors breathless. In Bohol, the Chocolate Hills offer a completely different landscape. This area boasts over 1,268 nearly identical conical hills stretching to the horizon. Geological studies indicate that these hills were formed from ancient limestone and eroded over millions of years. During the dry season, the grass covering the hills turns brown, making the entire area look like giant chocolate blocks, a rare natural phenomenon. Puerto Princesa, on the other hand, offers a more adventurous experience. An underground river, approximately 8 kilometers long, flows through a vast system of limestone caves. As the boat ventures deeper inside, natural light gradually fades, leaving only the sounds of water and bats echoing in the darkness. UNESCO has recognized this site as a World Natural Heritage Site due to its unique geological and ecological value, with stalactites and stalagmites formed over thousands of years. Beyond nature, the Philippines also boasts impressive man-made structures. The Banaue rice terraces are a prime example. Built by the Ifugao people over 2,000 years ago, this system of terraced rice paddies winds along the mountainside and utilizes a completely manual irrigation network. Remarkably, these terraces are still continuously cultivated today, demonstrating the enduring adaptability of this mountainous community. In another context, the ancient city of Vigan clearly reflects its historical significance. Cobblestone streets, Spanish-style houses, and traditional horse-drawn carriages create the feeling of stepping into an old European town in Southeast Asia. Vigan is a UNESCO World Heritage Site for its nearly intact preservation of colonial architecture, a rarity in the region. These locations showcase the Philippines as a multi-layered country where nature, history, and people coexist. Each destination carries its own story, making exploration of the country unpredictable and unforgettable. Number 13. The Philippine Sea has many faces. The Philippines is widely known for its stunning beaches, where turquoise waters and fine white sand create a nearly perfect backdrop. Each year, millions of tourists flock to this island nation to enjoy its tropical seaside atmosphere. Among the thousands of beaches stretching across the country, 3 locations are most frequently mentioned as representative of the diverse beauty and experiences of Philippine beach tourism. White Beach in Boracay is the most famous, often described as having long stretches of fine white sand alongside crystal clear waters. This area is home to many upscale resorts, restaurants, and bars that come alive when night falls. White Beach is suitable for those who love a vibrant atmosphere, water sports, and spectacular sunsets. In contrast, Nakpan Beach offers a more tranquil atmosphere. Approximately 4 kilometers long, the beach is surrounded by coconut trees and turquoise waters. The open space and less crowded environment allow visitors to truly appreciate the serenity. The sunsets here are often highly praised for their soft light and unspoiled natural scenery. Hidden Beach, on the other hand, impresses with its mysterious atmosphere. The beach is hidden behind limestone cliffs and can only be accessed by swimming or kayaking through a narrow passage. Once inside, the space opens up to clear water, clean sand, and pristine landscapes, giving the feeling of discovering a place isolated from the outside world. These 3 beaches clearly reflect the diversity of Philippine beach tourism, from vibrant and peaceful to mysterious. Each has its own unique character and leaves an unforgettable impression. Which style attracts you the most? Number 14. Filipino cuisine is unpredictable. Filipino cuisine is distinguished by its clear blend of sour, sweet, salty, and fatty flavors. This combination reflects the country's tropical climate, lifestyle, and history of cultural exchange. Among its many dishes, the following 4 are often cited as representative examples. Tocino is a familiar fried pork dish. Thinly sliced pork is marinated with sugar, salt, garlic, and spices, then fried until golden brown and fragrant. It's a traditional breakfast, often served with garlic rice and fried eggs, reflecting the high-energy eating habits of Filipinos. Pampanga is considered a region with many famous tocino restaurants due to its long-standing culinary tradition. Sinigang represents the characteristic sourness of Filipino cuisine. This soup uses tamarind, lime, or local fruits to create a mild sourness combined with pork, beef, or fish and various vegetables. Sinigang is more often cooked at home than in restaurants, as each family adjusts the acidity differently, making the dish highly personal. For many Filipinos, sinigang is associated with memories of family meals. Sisig is a popular street food, often served on a hot cast iron plate. Minced pork mixed with onions, vegetables, and eggs creates a distinctive aroma when served. Sisig is especially popular at evening gatherings or while drinking beer, reflecting the communal eating culture of urban dwellers. Adobo is considered a national dish. Chicken or pork is marinated in soy sauce and spices and then slow cooked until tender. Adobo can be preserved for a long time without refrigeration, a fact that was once very important in traditional life, making this dish popular throughout the country. Philippine cuisine doesn't stop at these 4 dishes. There are many other flavors waiting to be discovered. If you'd like to know more dish names or famous places, leave a comment with the number 3 to continue this culinary journey. Number 15. The cost of living surprises many people. The cost of living in the Philippines is considered relatively flexible, allowing foreigners to easily adjust their lifestyle according to their income. As a result, the country is often chosen by long-term tourists, retirees, or those seeking to reduce their spending burden compared to developed countries. From a frugal lifestyle to a comfortable standard of living, the Philippines offers suitable options. Regarding housing, a one-bedroom apartment in a budget-friendly area typically costs between $180 and $300 per month. These meet basic living needs and are located in safe residential areas. In central Manila or Cebu, rent is higher, around $400 to $550, but offers more convenient locations and amenities. Compared to major cities in the region, this price is still significantly lower, especially for those accustomed to living in the US or Europe. Electricity, water, and internet costs usually range from $60 to $100, depending on air conditioning usage. Eating out is a major advantage. Local eateries offer meals for just $2 to $5, while mid-range restaurants cost around $10 to $15 per meal. Even with frequent dining out, total costs remain manageable. If you cook your own meals, monthly grocery costs are around $180 to $230, thanks to abundant local produce and seafood. Public transportation is very cheap. Jeepneys cost only a few cents per ride, and taxis have low starting fares and are charged by distance. However, traffic congestion in Manila is a systemic problem, meaning travel times can be long despite the low cost. Other expenses, such as gym memberships of $30 to $50 per month or dental checkups around $20 per visit, are also quite manageable. With sensible spending habits, many foreigners report being able to maintain a comfortable life on around $570 to $1,000 per month, covering housing, food, and basic needs. If you are considering living in the Philippines, choose one. If not, choose no. And if you want to know more about visa procedures or length of stay, comment number 9 for more detailed guidance. And those are 15 amazing facts about the Philippines. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next part. Which fact impressed you the most? Comment below. The information is for reference only, so please verify it yourself before making a decision.